is 12 feet, 6x from the fly line. The indicator is. Then you have another 10 feet of either 5 or 6x where the nymph is. And he's just very subtle on his sets because you have a fly that's basically, it's as heavy as 10 flies. And you got it 6x. And he's working it through these rocks just magically. It's amazing. Now he's working his hands too. He keeps enough line out so that he can work fast and get to rocks that are a little farther away. He started close, and I mean it almost looks like check nymphing when he's this close, but the advantage is he can work farther and farther away each cast by letting that line out.
You can see why the nymph speed is very slow than the current.
So okay.
The bottom current is slow. The top current is very high.
Más despacio en el bajo de río. Okay. So what he's saying is the river speed is slower on the bottom than it is on the top, which makes sense. A lot of people know that. So the nymph speed, you have to go slower than the river. It's the same idea as the check nymphing. See, el mismo, the check nymphing.
Yeah.
Más despacio. Lead.
If you cast, and your line is top of the water, the speed of the water.
Oh, it's a great point.
The nymph is very, very speed.
Right. If the fly line is touching the water,
Turbo.
no one likes that. No one likes that. It's a blessing and a curse in fishing to be a lefty. Short line, okay. I see. Más corto.
Okay.
See? Otra vez. See?
Yo siento cuando la ninfa toca en la piedra.
Okay, okay, I understand. What he's doing basically is he's got a little strike indicator on his on the long 22-foot leader, and hardly any, basically no fly line out of the rod at all, and he's watching the strike indicator. He's just working this pocket here for fish. And he's going to let it swing a little. Now he's going to lob it over.
A couple other things I'd add. Polish nymphing is not for everywhere. I would not walk into a slow water, clear water situation and expect a Polish nymph. Because when you're Polish nymphing, you're fishing a very short line. Sometimes I have as little as 6 inches of fly line out the tip of my rod on a 6-foot level fluorocarbon leader. If a fish is spooky, he's not going to let you get that close. So it's ideal for places like the Madison, the Box Canyon, or a river that's slightly off color. You know, another week here we'll be messing around down in the green in Pinedale above the Warren Bridge. The water will be tea-colored, but you can walk right up to your best pools, be 5 feet from the fish and catch them. Polish nymphing is deadly for that. I have actually modified the Polish nymphing a little bit so that I can use it for the fishing we do so much around here, and that is actually float fishing. I usually see people going down the river when they're float fishing nymphing with big bobber size indicators. I'm not into that at all. I had a really fun experience a couple years ago with Jack. We were floating the Platte over by Casper, and I had never tried to Polish nymph out of the boat. But the fish were not eating dries by any means. The water was a little off color. There's a lot of people walking around, so I knew that the boat could go right over fish and they wouldn't be spooked. So what the heck? Put on a couple of Vladi's flies, and I Polish nymphed from the front and the back of the boat. Of course, I wasn't using 6 inches of fly line. I had to use about 3 to 6 feet, but I kind of mended in order to stay tight, and it was deadly. It was one of the funner days of nymph fishing I've ever had in my life. I don't like to make fun of my friends, but I will say that it was an amazing day that day on the Platte, because I was messing around with this Polish nymphing and doing really well. Jack and Scott Sanchez were actually doing the traditional indicator fishing out of the boat, and I think I caught maybe 12 to 15 fish that day, and those guys maybe caught 1 or 2 fish that day.
Using the same flies.
And they were using the same exact flies. So play with this. This is a great technique. There are a lot of great European techniques that Jack covers on this tape. Try them. Feel free to modify them. Feel free to do anything you want with them as long as it's helping you catch more fish. One of the important things in Polish nymphing is to have the proper leader. You know, if you go into most fly shops and say, I'm going to do some nymphing, sell me a leader, they're probably going to sell you a tapered 7.5-foot leader for like 2X. Makes sense. You're going to be dredging, you might as well have 2X. Not the case for Polish nymphing, because we already talked a little bit about you have to be in contact with the fish. And with your 7.5-foot leader trying to nymph without an indicator, you're probably going to get a bellow in the line. Vladi taught me to use literally a 5 to 6 foot leader. When I first met him, he used a level leader and very light, 4, maybe 6 pound test. And you think about it, if that's tied right off your fly line to the fly, you have a good feel. There's no bellow because that line is straightened out by the weight of the flies. Now my leader setup, and in Vladi's, we've modified a little bit. I do no butt section, definitely no 30 or 25 pound butt section because they always coil up and that's going to cost you feeling strikes. I do about a 1X fluorocarbon butt section off my fly line. I jump to 3X and then my tippet, which I'll do about 2 feet of it, will be either 4X or in rare cases, when I'm in Europe really, I'd never do it around here, but 5X to feel those little grayling.
Okay, talk about fluorocarbon.
Fluorocarbon is something that I didn't use a whole lot before I started fishing the World Championships. The only thing I had used it for was my droppers. Now I use it a lot for my subsurface lake fishing and always for Polish nymphing. Fluorocarbon is denser than water, therefore it sinks quicker, and you're trying to reach bottom where the fish live when you're nymphing. Why not use tippet that helps you get there quicker? I construct my leaders. I told you they're going to be 6 feet long maximum. I'll put about 2 feet of 1X off my fly line. Then I put about 2 feet of 3X, which I triple surgeon knot to my 1X. I always do a triple when I'm messing with fluorocarbon because sometimes the knot strength is where you can go wrong there. Triple's never a problem. And then I attach my tippet section, which I already said would be either 4X or 5X, with another triple surgeons. And that second fly is always a big question how you want to attach that. First time I do it, I'll literally just leave a hang off my surgeon's knot, about 6 to 7 inches long, and I go with that. But of course, after I change flies a few times, it gets shorter, and you think to yourself, well, I'm going to have to change my 4X tippet quite often. Not the case. You don't have to do that. I simply take another piece of 4X and I tie a perfection loop in one end, loop to loop it to my tippet above that surgeon's knot, so it'll actually be attached to my 3X portion of my leader, the midsection of my leader. Pull it tight, tie my fly on, and then that is my new hang for my second fly or my top fly.
Follow the fly, and then when I'm done with this, hop step up or hop step down, you know. Then I covered all single centimeter of the water. And again, hop, like this, half step up. What I am fishing, I like fishing from the bottom to top because fish don't see you. You like grayling, like some, maybe trout, but grayling don't see you like this. If you come to the head of the pool and you go down many times you can every fish spook, you know, like this. Of course, if I go from the top, then I cover water, one half step down and half step down again. And again, the same, up, step down, you know, and again. Don't remember, always this little loop here is helpful a lot. And again, down, you know, and up, and again, down, up, yeah. Like follow the fly, and then when I'm done with this, hop step up or hop step down, you know. Then I covered all single centimeter of the water. And again, hop, like this, half step up, what I am fishing, I like fishing from the bottom to top, because fish don't see you. You like grayling, like some, maybe trout, but grayling don't see you like this. If you come to the head of the pool and you go down, many times you can every fish spook, you know, like this. Of course, if I go from the top, then I cover water, one half step down, and half step down again, and again, the same, up, step down, you know, and again. Don't remember, always this little loop here is helpful a lot. And again, down, you know, and up, and again, down, up. Yeah. Go up to the surface, always with the current a little bit, you know. And then this natural movement, when I follow the fly like this, is very, very similar like you know, the insect come up from the water. And then I cast upstream and a little faster than water, and I come like 1, 2, 3, and you know, come up from the water. Again and again. Sometimes I have my rod a little bit higher, but then I use, you know, longer line. That I am a little bit higher with my rod because I want to see the end of my line, you know. And when I fish nearby my feet, then it's not necessary to have very high, because, you know, length of the leader must be, all monofin must be in the water. Then I'm very, very low.
How long a leader? I mean, that's a question.
Okay, the leader must be for nymphing like 2/3 of my rod. 2/3 for the Polish nymphing. 2/3.
So if your rod's 9 foot,
Yeah.
7-foot rod.
Yeah, 7-foot rod.
Leader.
Yes, 7-foot leader. And I have 10 rod, of course. 2/3 of rod.